All right, everybody, this is round 7 decisions. This is interesting. So I just did the analysis for you, and I've gone through, made some decisions, and because we did so well in the previous round, we had some money to do some pretty cool stuff. Here on the balance card, after I've made my decisions, this is what I'm looking at. I got my stock price, got my profits, leverage, everything's 25 out of 25 there. 24.4 out of 25. So what am I missing? Stock out costs. Saying I'm going to stock out. Well, that's because I probably will. I'm going to come really close. I don't think I will stock out, but I may come close. I'll show you in a second. For the customer, I have hit the customer's buying criteria. They're aware. It is accessible. The product count is perfect, and the administrative costs and all that is perfect. And then the employee turnover rate. This is one I can't change. I've tried. So there's nothing I can do about that. I've already got my training and my employee spending on there as much as I can. So that may change this next round. I'll show you in a second. So everything else is perfect. So it's the only two things: the employee turnover rate, which I can't directly affect really in a positive way, and then I have stock out costs at where that I can change a little bit here and there. So let me show you what my decisions are. Let's go over to R&D. We currently have 5 products. The 5th product's coming out this month. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cover this. I'm going to show you the side, and then I'm going to blow this all up so you can see it easier. So we've got Able. I bumped it up. You can see here it finished the year in December. It made its revision right next to where it should have been the previous time. So it's lagging because I didn't change it that one round. That really messed me up. So at the end of this round, I'm just going to go through the 3-year age. All right, so 3-year age. Let me show you here on the side. That, of course, is what the low-tech wants. Low-tech wants 3 years. So that's 30% of what they want. 41% of what they want is price, and I'll hit that in a second. NTBFs, they want it up to 20,000, so I said, you know, I'll bump it up. We were 19-something, 19.5 or something like that last time, so I bumped it up to 20,000. The ideal position, it won't be in the ideal position, but that's the least of its concern, really. I could hit basically 91% of what they want and not hit the ideal position and still be their amazing product. So I'm okay with that. It's going to be really close as it is at the end of this next round. So that's really good. Amoeba, a high-tech product. Let's go ahead and change view here and over here. So Amoeba, we're bouncing it from the middle of the high-tech a little bit closer to the edge, not exactly. I just bumped it a little bit. So now it's going to be in June, which is right here. I have it at 11.9 and 8.1 at the beginning of June, which is like the end of May, which is here. 11.9, 8.1. So at the time of its revision, it'll be 1 year old, and I can't really get its age younger than that unless I just make it a real quick change. And I want it to be on the edge, so I'm not doing just a real quick change. On Annoy, same thing. So all of these I've just bumped up a little bit. Abe Lincoln was already pretty close to the edge, so I just pushed it a little bit further, and I have it ready so that when it pops out, it's on the leading edge in July. It's actually on the leading edge for August, if I remember right. 12.1, 7.9. Let me take a gander. 12.4, 7.6. No, so it's on the leading edge for the beginning of next round. But it's going to change in July, so it's going to be ahead of schedule, so everybody's going to love it. Annoy, 11.8, 8.3, 11.8, 8.3, and it's coming out in February. So it's going to be just right where it needs to be to come out. So that's good. And then it's going to be 11.7. I can't change it, you know. I put it in last time. 11.7, 8.3. So basically the same thing as Annoy. But it's coming out as a brand new product, top MTBFs, 0 age, so it should get a pretty good chunk. It won't get everything like we always hope it would because the customer awareness isn't there. So I'm putting money into that. So now that you've seen that, let's go ahead and bump over to marketing. And let's see, I don't need the drift sheet anymore. Now, Able, why did it jump down the price? In the rubric, it says that you get extra points if you get it at 75% of the price. So what I did was I said, right here, let's scroll down and show you, $35 times 75% is $26.25. So we're right at the 75% mark. We were at $29.99 last time, so we're dropping $3. That means we're now going to only be making about $16 per product instead of $20 per product. So I'm taking a hit. Let's go ahead and bump it up to 27. I mean, really, it's not going to change much as far as how many I'm going to sell, but that extra buck will be nice at $17 per product. So we'll keep it there. Amoeba, I haven't changed the prices on these. Is coming out this time. What I'll do is I'll bump it down to 40. It's already starting off pretty well, so I'm going to bump it up at 43. Let's go ahead and knock these down, $2 per. So that puts that at 41. This is going to change my numbers because now I'm changing it in front of you. 40. That's going to be a lot of money change. A lot of difference. Yeah, 64 million is what it says now. So I adjusted my promo, I adjusted my sales budgets. AC is new, so it's getting out with new stuff. 860, the reason why I have 860 is because there are 9 products. Here's the number of products that were produced last time in the high-tech market, 6450 times 20% is 7740. That divided by 9 products is 860 per product. Well, I happen to have 4 in the high-tech market, and when I did this last round, it almost was perfect as far as parts sold. So I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do 860, 860, 860. I would have done 860 on ACH, but being that it's a new product with the lower capacity, I couldn't quite hit the 860. I wanted to kind of bump it down a little bit. So let's take a look at my production. Here, look at these contribution margins. You're already looking at the red, aren't you? I caught you. All right, so I had 371 products left over from last time. I don't want to do that again. So what I did is I came in here into the low tech, and I said, okay, I had 16% of the market share. I'm not gaining market share in the low tech. There actually was another group, I think it was Big Ben, that bounced down to the low tech this last time. See, they lowered their prices. 2 of them. They got so Baldwin lowered their prices, so they've got a couple more low tech, which means they should have sold more. They didn't take into consideration that they would grab more market share just because they're down there, which is good because that means they're competing with Chester. Chester's got 3 low tech products. Baldwin now has 3 low tech products. They've let them age and everything. So at this point, I'm going to let them fight it out on the low tech, and I'm going to take over the high tech. That's how I feel about it. Let's see here. So I've got 1, 2, 3 right at the top of high tech. Big Ben is their only high tech one, and even then, it's also aged. They need to make an adjustment on it this year, or they're going to just lose out completely on the top. Although I think that is one of the low tech listed as low tech now. Best is their only one, so they've got 1. They have 2. They have, I guess they have 2. And I've got 4. So I'm totally taking market share this time. If you look at the customer survey, I'm kicking butt there. Everybody's happy with me. So that's good. So this is where it's important. Andrews, I've got the high tech. I'm losing the low tech to Baldwin and Chester. They've decided they're going to give up the high tech to me, which I appreciate. So if you look here, I'm supposed to get 37.5% of the high tech. So I think I put in here the math. Let me get that back up. That's up here at the top. So here's the high tech. High tech is going to be producing 7740 parts this next round. They think I'm going to have 37.5% market share, which is 2,902 parts, divided by 4 parts is 725 per product that I have. So let's see, last time I had 36.7% market share, but they're only basing that off of 3 products. So having a 4th product in there, I'll take market share. Plus, with some of these other ones bouncing down to low tech, like Baldwin did, I'm going to be taking more high tech share. Or at least I should beat out what the computer says there. Now on the low tech, it says I'm only going to have 12.7%. Let's see, did I do the math in here for you guys? Anyway, so with 12.7%, I think I will be able to do 13% because I'm lowering my price dramatically, and I'm bumping up my MTBS. So I should be able to sell out. I think I'm going to stock out of Able. So over here I'm producing. So we got 1,300 is how many I'm forecasting. I got 371 on hand, so put another 950 into it. That gives me 12, 13, 21. So I should have 21 left over. And I think I'm going to sell out. But I could be way wrong. I could be just the 12.7 and I'm going to still overproduce. I don't know. Amoeba, 860, 860, 860. Look, see, I only had 8 left, 3 left, 49 left. Abe Lincoln is right on the edge right now. It's young. So I think it's actually going to take over. I think I just lowered the price on all of it. So that should do really well. Is coming out. I might only sell like 500 of these, but because I have the high market share, I got to push it. I'm only going to produce 736. So because of that, that's why they're giving me the low score on the stock out. So now that I just realized it, 736, what I need to do is go back to marketing and change that number to 736. Call it 735 to make it even. All right, let's see what it says on the 63 million still. Okay. So we take a look at the production. It's 100% overtime. So this is what I want to show you. So here in Able, I know that I'm losing market share. I've had 1,300 as the capacity, which means I could make 2,600 parts, but I'm just not selling that many anymore. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to sell back capacity this round. And that's going to give me 12 million back. This is going to give me another, maybe $1 million or something. And in exchange for that, I'm bumping up the automation on all these other ones. And the reason why I'm keeping this low, instead of going the maximum amount that I could invest, the reason why I'm bringing it low is because of this right here, the 26,946. I want to keep that a fairly low number this round. Now the 5 million that I'm recruiting, that's the highest I can spend. I've talked about that in the past. The hours, 80, you don't get any benefit over that. So this turnover rate, I really can't get it lower than what I've already got. And with the capacity being where it is on there's nothing I can do. Next round is also going to be, another 20%. So I'm bumping this up to 600. I think that's going to be fine. I'm just going to leave it like that for the next round. So let's go over here and take a look at finance. There it is. So I'm selling some material. I'm selling some plant material. So I'm actually going to profit from it, which is cool. So they're counting that against the investments. I'm buying back the stock because that's going to make my stock price higher. Remember, that's why we're getting graded. That's one of the ways we're getting graded heavily. So I'm also doing a $3 dividend. If I look over here at the other people that paid dividend, it's only the computer teams. And that's only because the human teams really don't understand that in these last rounds you've got to pay your dividends to get your stock up. So notice our stock price versus everybody else's. And we had an emergency loan this one, an emergency loan this one. We won't get one this one. Let's see. So we paid a $2 dividend last time. We're going to pay a $3 dividend this time, which is higher. I'm taking that because Ferris did 480, Erie did 240, so I figure, I better do 3, which is a good middle ground. And we already have a much higher market cap than those guys anyway. That should bring our value up tremendously, especially because I'm buying back $77.5 million in shares. So we should have a change. I'm saying that our stock price should be well over 100 next time, probably like 105 or so, compared to the next one. which is Chester at 50. So we should see a pretty big jump there. I would bet that Chester's going to pay a dividend this next time because they're going to see that we did this time and Baldwin did this time. I think Baldwin was kind of testing it out, but you can see their stock price went up too. If I remember right, we're the only ones that bought stock back. So long-term debt, I'm not going the full bore this time. I am going to bump it up though now because I did lower how much I'm going to be getting in profit from my stuff. So let's go ahead and change this to, let's go up 1 more million. There we go. That gives us a cushion, 4.7 million. TQM, last time we only did $1 for each one. It didn't gain anything, so it just lost $10,000. This time I'm going to do 250 because the other teams did gain, and I was told that it actually diminishes each round, and that's why. So I didn't know that. So I'm going to put 250,000 in each one of them. As you can see, I should get an increase in every single one in the best case scenario, and that's how I'm going to go. We may not lose anything here, but I'm going to try for that last round. So now that we've changed everything, you've seen what I've done, you've seen why I did it. Let's see what our balance scorecard looks like. Her profits have gone down because I lowered how much I'm charging. The plant utilization is perfect. Okay, that was all perfect before. This is perfect now. Product count and everything is perfect. And down here, employee turnover rate, well, that I couldn't change before either. So I was at 98 before. If I go in here and change the dollar amounts in marketing, let's go take a look. I went down $2 in each one. Able, I even went down $2. So let's do this. Let's, instead of 40.50, let's make that an even 41. Let's make this 41.90. So I'm only coming down $1.50 now on that. Let's make this 40. Let's make that 42.50. And because I went up on those, let's make this 42.75. So it's about the same. Not a whole lot of difference, but I'm selling fewer of these. Let's see what it looks like on the balance scorecard now. Profits is up. It's at 97.8. And I think that's good enough. This last round, it's going to be important that we have everything set where it needs to be. The stock price next round will need to be over 100 at the end of round 8. Our profits will need to be over 25 million. And next round, we won't be changing our capacities and stuff like that. We won't be touching them. And I could go in here and make these like 10 across the board. See if I go 8.7. See what that changes. So we were at 97.8, I think was our pro forma on there. It only went up a little bit. Let's go over here to finance. 3 million. Whoa, that took a lot out. Okay. 8.2, 97.8, so I didn't change anything there. But next round, it's going to give us more profit. And that's what I'm going with. And it's also going to lower our employee turnover possibly. Let's go take a look at that again. It's right now 6.1. I think that should lower next, except for we might lose some employees. We're going to separate employees. Okay, that's it. That's all the decisions for this week, guys. Oh, I didn't mention this. I'm sorry. I raised up the accounts payable from 5 days to 10 because I looked at what the competition is doing, and they are doing 25. They don't know what they're doing on that end. And then I also looked at the competition. I showed you the accounts receivable. It was 60. I bumped it down to 50. Mainly because I want to pull in some of that profit, especially around the last round. And next round, I may bump this down to 45 and bump this up to 15, just to have a higher profit amount at the end of round 8 and still have a high scorecard. So that's it. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something from this. We're almost done with the whole competition. I've shown you every single round. And if you've gained something, please leave a message down below. If you have questions about any of these things, feel free to ask. I'd be more than happy to share information with you. And I hope you're the best.